Yes, sir. It's another Dope Boys 813 podcast, bro. Number 3 in the books. Number 3, bro. We're sorry
Yes,
for the
sir.
we're sorry for last week. It was crazy, bro. But I feel like this week's conversation was good, man. We touched a lot of interesting topics. Just had a fun time, bro. We talked about the whole George Floyd thing. We talked about racism in America today, and you guys should watch your podcast. So I'm not gonna say too much, but you got just stick around, man. Just watch the video, for real.
Yes, sir.
Our links are all of our socials will be down in the description below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, bro. And let's get right into the video.
Glizzy.
So I know it's been we're pretty much about to get out of school, and pretty much we've been keeping the other podcasts pretty positive for the most part. But today I just thought it was kind of important to acknowledge what's been going on, especially with current events, and just kind of talk about what's been going on with the George Floyd incident, being just him with police brutality, and then the riots and all that. Just the whole situation in general has been a lot, especially on social media.
It's been a crazy past few weeks, bro.
For real.
I think we have to go. I don't think we have to go through it again, you know.
They just this situation just happened.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break it down for the people who don't know what's going on, or you think most people know what's going on?
Most people probably do. For the people out there who are literally living underneath a rock right now.
A rock, yeah.
Straight up.
I was gonna say that.
A black guy in Minneapolis got killed while being arrested by the police.
So basically, yeah, he was they were detaining him, and pretty much the white officer put his whole body weight on his neck. He kneeled down on his neck, and the dude was literally saying he couldn't breathe, and the officer pretty much just didn't care. And then what kind of just made that whole situation worse was that the officers who were with him didn't even acknowledge it. They just stood by and let it happen. They stood by and let him die, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently the police are claiming a different story from what happened, but there's evidently video showing.
There's a clear video, and the fact that the dude is probably gonna get off with this is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally see he hears if we can hear him on a video talking about he can't breathe, the officer clearly can hear him when he's standing right on top of him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
Bro, Jacob, tell him about the guards, bro, guarding his house.
Oh, and so yeah, what's making literally this whole situation crazy right now, it's actually kind of getting on my nerves a little bit, is that there's literally 75 police officers protecting his house, basically, from rioters and stuff. It's 75,
Bro, they need to use those police officers to protect the rest of the city, bro. You seen all the memes on IG, bro. Target's getting robbed. Everybody's getting robbed, but they still have 75 people at his house for one person. That just doesn't make sense.
The situation is hella crazy, bro. Cause what I'm thinking is he already had the handcuffs on him, right? He didn't have to put his knee on his neck like that. He could have put.
There was no reason.
Yeah.
Think about it logically, though. There's 4 police officers, right? And there's one unarmed dude. He doesn't have any guns on him. There's literally 4 people. What is he going to do against 4 whole police officers by himself that considered him a threat to get killed like that?
Even if he could do something, bro, he had his face down with handcuffs
on the ground.
He can't, no matter how physically fit you are, nobody can get off the ground with no hands.
Yeah, he was on the ground. There's nothing he was literally going to do.
All right, bro, that just doesn't make sense.
It's crazy, bro.
And the fact that the 4 people just stood there and did nothing, they're just as accountable for the dude who actually did it.
For real.
So kind of going back to the rioters, I kind of want to talk about that because you know how the Target got looted. and I think an
There
apartment
was
got
fires.
burned. Yeah, there was fires. Well, so I was gonna ask, do y'all think that really solves the problem? I'm not taking a side specifically, but like, do you think looting the Target like accomplished anything as far as getting a message across in that matter with George Floyd?
I feel like in the long run, it's probably not gonna matter. But I feel like the thing that they're trying to accomplish with this is saying, like, you can't just take advantage of us like this. Like, we're gonna retaliate. Like, it's just like we're done being peaceful and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just think you can do this and have no consequences at all. But I think what they're trying to say by protesting is that there's gonna be consequences in one way or another, or one way or another.
Yeah, and I just like, it's just like crazy, bro, because like these events keep on like, you keep on like going like big for a second and then quieting down, and then going big for a second and quieting down. I feel like the last like huge one was like the Trayvon Martin stuff, and that's like when we were back when we were like young kids. We were like third, fourth grade. I still remember the trials that were going on, and like it just like sucks that it keeps on like sporadically happening throughout like time. It was really big situations, and even the Trayvon Martin situation that sparked a whole big thing where it was like police brutality and just young black men being killed out there in the streets, and it's like there's really no reason for it.
Yeah, like for real. It says, I think Will Smith said it. He said racism isn't getting worse; it's just getting filmed.
That's what I was gonna say.
That makes a lot of sense. Think about all the other people that this has happened to, where there's no film of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's no proof, and they just got away with it.
I thought the same thing, and I think that's what people are getting mad is that like it's getting put on camera now, so people know it's been happening. There's no really way to get around it at this point.
Exactly. And with the other situation with the man who was running in his neighborhood, that happened like 4 months ago. But the only reason they even got put on trial is because a video came out of it.
Yeah,
it's crazy though, because there's people protesting, like saying that those people were in the right, like that they had the right to do that. I was like, in what world?
Yeah. Did you see the group chat? It was a post on Instagram, but there's like a Facebook chat. Well, there's like 3,000 people, I think, and it's like all of them petition like justice for those two men. I'm like, bro, you got like, are you literally stupid?
That's terrible.
Are you like literally stupid? It makes no sense to me.
What else happened, bro?
I mean, like, even if he was robbing something, he obviously didn't have any gun. Because in the video, you see he was trying to like get the gun off the people, off the two men. If he had a gun, he would have just shot back. It was just
for real. And I saw this one picture. The dudes, like the church shooting, bro. Like these white dudes literally killed. One dude killed like 23, and the other people killed 9, bro. They got handcuffs on, walking out peacefully, like nothing's happening, like it's every day. But meanwhile, you got a dude that's allegedly did some scamming or whatever, and you have his whole knee on your neck. Like that doesn't even make sense. Like the dude, they literally killed people. He's allegedly scammed somebody, and bro, it just doesn't make sense, bro.
With no gun in the car, like literally no gun. These people had guns. There's literally been school shootings, bro.
Automatics, bro. But no,
full-on rifles.
You want to walk them out on their 2 feet like nothing happened, trying to keep it all quiet.
But then what's worse too is that those kids don't even get penalized. They get charged with mental illness. You know darn well if that was a black person that did that, they would not get charged with mental health.
You remember I don't remember what school it was, but I think our freshman.
What is it? What is it? What is it? It happened right here.
Yeah, the schools shooting in Florida.
The Seminole Heights. We're talking about two different things. No, but what I was saying was like, you remember the Seminole Heights like killer, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was black, and he tried to do the whole mental illness thing, and they didn't let it happen.
Didn't go.
But guaranteed, if that was a white person, it would have happened. They would have let him off scot-free.
I'm saying, I think it was a Broward County high school. I think it was.
Parkland?
Yeah, Parkland.
Yeah.
At that same time, you remember TK was on trial and stuff. And I told you, I was like, bro, literally, that guy, he's gonna get off on mental illness. TK's going away. Life. There's like nothing about it. There's like no question about it. I already said that. And it's exactly what I said. Exactly what happened. The man from a Parkland shooting got off on mental illness, and TK is now in jail for basically the remainder of his life.
Right, and it's those same people that want everybody to have guns. But like when you give guns to everybody, you're gonna get situations like this.
Yeah.
Like if a gun is that easy to own, it's gonna be that easy to use, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Man, bro, that's just messed up, really. I don't
So-
even like talking about it like that, bro.
Kind of predicting the future, not predicting the future. What do you think is going to happen? Ultimately, what do you think is going to happen to the officer that killed George Floyd? Do you think he's going to go free, or do you think he's going to get penalized for this?
So
If he gets penalized,
with
he's not going
that,
to wait for a long time.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. There's two roads. Either he gets off scot-free, or they give him a slap on the wrist. He's in jail for 2 weeks and he's back out.
Not even two. I want to say 2 weeks. I'll say like 3 to 4 years with no parole. That's what I'm saying. But they could
I
go.
feel like, I don't think he's going to get life, even if he doesn't get arrested.
On me.
For the simple fact that he's a police officer, he's not gonna get life.
He's going to say it was self-defense, and that's what they're going to put it as in the books. He was defending himself.
Mm-hmm. Against what?
Because I don't know.
What was he defending himself against if the guy's
Nothing.
all in the floor with his handcuffs on? He's gonna hit him with his feet, bro. On me.
Is there a video out where, like, it shows like the beginning, or is it just the end?
I think it's just the end. That's all I've seen.
They pretty much just showed a part where he's putting the knee on him, but they have the parts where the dude's saying, "I can't breathe," and he's saying, "I want my mama," and the police officer doesn't care.
Okay, so I found this out like an hour ago, 30 minutes. The dude died on his mom's death's 2nd year anniversary.
It's just sad.
Bro, he died on the same day as his mother 2 years later. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just worse, too, because supposedly the officer stayed on him while he was unconscious, too. Like, he was unconscious for a whole minute, and he was still sitting on him. Like, so there was even no need at that point to keep doing that. But
Yeah.
There was time.
Yeah.
If he says there wasn't time to save him, there was time to save him, bro.
And like just like a disclaimer.
And like what the black officer said. What happened?
Yeah, just like as like a disclaimer, bro. Like, I don't think there's all like racist cops or anything. I don't think that all cops are bad or anything. But there's like a select few, and those select few are the ones that keep on getting like away with the stuff they're getting away with, and it's honestly crazy.
Bro, I put it like this, right? Like it's like an analogy. If you have like poison grapes and you put it into another bag of regular grapes, you're not gonna want to eat the grapes at all, right?
it's like a mix.
That's like saying like one bad cop out of all of them, you're not gonna trust any of them because one is bad, they all could be bad, even though we know that's not true. That's still taking a risk. Like what I said with the grapes, you're still gonna take a risk if you choose to eat it. So that's what I feel like is happening right now. People are
So
scared,
that is the big thing. Yeah, because there are plenty of cops who I know in that situation absolutely would not have done what that police officer done, but he's giving a lot of police officers, especially white police officers, a bad rep for what he's doing. And I don't think that's what the justice system is trying to represent, even though the system has proven to be flawed at times and, rigged against certain people, such as minorities. But I think overall it's giving it a terrible rep when people are abusing their power like he did, obviously, against the weaker person.
Clean example of abuse of power, bro. Because like,
there's no other way to put it.
If he did something else to make the officer mad, he probably would have gotten shot. Any type of resistance.
Straight up.
Bro, ridiculous, bro. And to think that this is all happening with a pandemic, like, still going on, is like, Pete, you have bigger fish to fry right now than a scammer.
Plus, like everyone's eyes are on you, too. Like, it's on social media, and nobody has anything else better to do than just scroll through Instagram for 3 hours a day. So to think that wouldn't come up is kind of crazy.
Bro, like, with the office, the dude, they had him on CNN. They had a witness on CNN. He was talking about how, like, the officer literally didn't care. And, like, they were all telling him. And he was, like, I think he said he was, like, smirking at him. Or, like, he did, like, a shimmy or something, like, while he was on his neck.
Yeah, that's evil, bro. That's just straight wicked.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He said he went up his neck, like he was going up.
Yeah, like he was getting closer to his head.
Yeah.
That's just straight wickedness, bro.
It just doesn't make sense.
Like the people that like are sticking up for that and are like, he's not in the wrong. Nothing wrong happened. It was the guy's fault. Like honestly, you need to go to the doctor and get your brain checked because like that makes no sense. Sometimes like even if you're in the wrong, you gotta admit like sometimes like it's that's just like not right. That
For
just makes
real,
no
bro.
sense.
Like you can't be right in every situation, no matter who you are. Nobody's perfect.
So bringing up the bystanders or the cops, how do you think they played into it? Do you think they're just as guilty as him for letting him do that because they just sat by
Of
and let
course
him
they
do
are.
it? Or yeah,
Bro, they all went through the same training, the same medical stuff. They all knew what was happening. They knew he was gonna die, and they still let it happen. If anything, they should get charged with the same thing. Cause what do they charge? Like if you watch a murder happen, that's like I
that's
forgot
a
what they charge you with.
bystander. That's a witness or a bystander in any
Like
situation. If
what
you
is it
see
like
something
aiding,
happen, you don't do anything about it. You're a
like
bystander.
aiding and abetting or whatever they call it, bro. Like people will still get like in a regular crime, people will still get charged if you watched it happen and you had a part of it and you didn't do anything. That should be the same. Like they should get the same treatment.
By affiliation, because really all of them just sit
Yeah,
there and watch. They should did something. And like I wouldn't like anyone like who wasn't a police officer that was watching that happen. I don't blame them for not doing anything because they would have if they did something they would have just as well got
they
the
would
same
have got.
treatment.
They would have got shot.
Just as well got the same
They would
treatment.
have got the same treatment. Officer would have been. They all the officers already had their hand on their holsters already, if not guns already out.
Yeah.
If anybody even stepped close, bro.
And I feel like that move right there,
But
like
bystanders, they literally couldn't do anything
yeah.
about it.
And I feel like that move right there, like when
And
cops like
what?
put their gun on their holster, bro, that in itself already scares people, you know? Especially like people that are like innocent, like, yo, what do I do? And you're putting your gun on your holster, and it's like, stop, like, what are you reaching for? And your hands are already like people. Like, there's been situations where people's hands are up and the guns are on the holster. It's like, yo, what am I gonna do? You know? Or mistaking their phone for a gun, and it's like it's crazy.
And like this is also showing people's true characters for all the white people out there who listen to Black culture, supposedly love Black culture, rap music, barbecue, all that stuff. They love it supposedly. If they're silent right now, that's showing their true color. Because if you were really about it, you would have stood up and said something.
And we appreciate the people we do because we see the people that are doing it. We acknowledge you. We just want to let you guys know that this is like a real thing situation. This isn't something made up. This is on camera. Yeah. This happened. It's been happening. It's just finally getting recorded. So you guys get to see the discrimination that goes on against different people in day-to-day lives. So just to be aware when you're walking around in public.
Nothing is new under the sun, man. You know what I mean?
Like, this is real life. Like, it's not a game anymore.
I kind of want to. Oh shoot, go.
I just feel like all that like translate. You remember that thing that happened with Grace? I don't know if we should talk about that or not.
We might as well just bring it up. I mean, I'm sure people don't want to hear it, but it kind of goes side and side with this just a little bit. To be fair,
if you guys don't know, then basically there's a video went out from their high school, Mildwood High School, of a sophomore. Or she's a sophomore now, I think.
She doesn't go to our school anymore, but she went as well.
Yeah, the video is gonna like be right here. I'm gonna play.
Okay, so let's just talk about something. Racism. It goes both ways. In the past, white people were racist to black people, which wasn't okay. But us white people, or Caucasian or whatever, shouldn't be held accountable for what happened in the past. I get it, that was our relatives, but we weren't there and we had nothing to do with it. To get equality and peace, we need to stop racism both ways. Just how a white person can't be racist to a black person shouldn't be racist to a white person. And I know this happens for a fact. Someone was racist to the both of us. So like, we need to stop that. It shouldn't matter what race you are, everyone just needs to be nice to each other. And that's on period. And also
the video for you guys. But basically, it was like she was just she was just wilding out, bro, basically.
She was saying stuff like, what did she say? Like not everybody's responsible for their past. But then, like, our past is what led that man to be on the floor with that gun. Like, that's people's ancestors teaching them how to act. Not because what I learned is like nobody's born racist. That's something you're taught.
That's an acquired trait, bro.
For real, like somebody had to teach you that. Therefore, it's coming from your past. Therefore, your past does matter. Therefore, people can be judged by their past and should be judged by their past.
But like one thing you
I'm
got
not
to
saying-
realize too. Oh shoot, my bad. I keep cutting off.
You're straight. But like one thing I'm saying is like, of course, not everybody's like that. But if they're not like that, they'll physically show you that they're not like that. You know, like you can see that they're not like that. But if you're just going off of somebody's word, then it's like, bro, I can't really trust you. Like at least not off the bat. Like you gotta show me.
What are you saying, Jacob?
So pretty much what I was just gonna say is another thing you gotta realize too is that with the same thing about you being taught it, at the same time too, this stuff is pretty much put in people's heads from the time they're kids. And if you gotta think about it, kids, like, they're really easy to influence, especially by their parents at such a young age. So when you're teaching stuff like this, it's pretty hard for them not to bring these type of ideals with them as they get older into their everyday lives, just in general. And we're seeing that kind of happen here.
Yeah. If people didn't pass racism on, then they're like it wouldn't be a thing in today's society. Like if racism wasn't continually passed on from generation down to generation, it wouldn't be passed on. And I know some are gonna get on us, but like there's not just racism white people to black people. There's
It's everywhere.
Everywhere, bro. I can wholeheartedly admit that there's some black people that'll get on like a white dude with dreads because they're like that's culture appropriation. I feel like that's kind of wrong, but like at the same time, you have to know like what you're doing in the area you're in.
So I gotta think for that. Oh, go.
Oh, you got it.
Because I'm gonna get into a whole new topic after this, or it's gonna be related, but it's gonna be on somebody. So
I said, racism, it goes both ways, but at the same time, it doesn't.
Because it goes always, bro. Because it's not everyone's trying to make it like a race thing, like white and blacks against white, and it's like, bro.
Yeah, like that's one thing that should be cut out. It's a person versus a person. Like it's not this group versus that group. Everybody's the same on the inside.
Yeah.
We're all people with the same mind, the same functions. We all do the same thing. We all have the same brain. Nobody's different.
I mean,
all right, Jacob.
So pretty much what Xzavier said, you pretty much kind of helped me transition into this next thing. So you know how we just talked about pretty much racism isn't just white on against the world. Yeah. So kind of to continue off of that, I think this pretty much happened right before. I'm sure you guys heard about the situation with Doja Cat and how she's getting canceled. And so I thought that kind of went with what he said, how it's not just that, but apparently she's getting canceled for being in chat rooms with white supremacists, for saying she doesn't like being black. So I just thought if that kind of goes hand in hand, what you guys kind of thought about that situation and embracing being biracial at that, because I'm biracial.
I mean, with that's her own judgment. If you don't like your own skin, then there's something wrong with you at the end of the day. Like no matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Mexican, Asian, if you don't like the skin you're in, no matter what race it is, there's something wrong. Like that's not a race problem, that's a mental problem.
Well, because I feel like too, because the thing is, she said though, it's pretty much like that idea of culture appropriation. Like she just wants to be full on white, but then it's okay because she said she likes that she has the curves and the skin color, but she gets that from being part black. So the part that she can take parts of being mixed and then just say she wants to be white, but then have black features, that makes no sense. And she's trying to benefit off of having those features. Just kind of whack.
Yeah.
Like you can't say one thing and then you be like, oh, but no, I want to keep some of this or I want to keep some of that. But after that statement, you can't really do that, if you know what I'm saying. Like the statement you made doesn't give you leeway to go both ways in your argument.
And like there's not parts of being black that you can just just throw out the window.
We're not Sims characters, my guy. Like it's the end of the day.
Straight up.
You don't make like there's black people that are as flat as a pencil, my guy. Like for real.
Like there's like not parts of being black that you can just toss away because you don't like that trait about black people. Like it just like goes back in all stereotypes and stuff like that. Like me personally, bro, like the whole stereotype about all black people like watermelon or something. Honestly, bro, I don't mess with watermelon. I do not mess with watermelon.
I don't like it.
Watermelon is so weird, and it's just like the racism of today. I feel like is telling someone It's like telling someone they can only do this because of the way they sound, the way they look, and like the where they grew up. That's racism. That's like the point of racism.
Like limiting somebody
Yeah,
just by the way they look.
Just by the way they look to like only do this. Like you're only Mexican. Oh, you're only good for working or something like that. Oh, you're black. Oh, you're just good for being lazy. Oh, you're white. You can go on and exceed. And I feel like that's just like that's the most toxic thing a person can ever say. They can ever say. I remember like in school this year, I was there. We had a meeting and we got all the juniors and stuff. Like, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was like, well, I want to be a computer scientist. And this one white kid behind me was like, that's a white person job. So I'm like, bro, what? So I looked at him. I'm like, bro, what do you mean that's a white person job? He's like, you need to be black. You need to play sports or something. I'm like, bro, don't even get me started, bro. I was like, you play football, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, stop playing. That's a black person sport. We rule that shit, bro. All your sports divisions, we rule that. All your music stuff, we rule that too. So you can just back off. Don't listen to that. Listen to your country. Play your water polo or whatever, you know?
Just a water polo.
Oh, you play your water polo or whatever, bro.
But like going off of that with the whole Doja situation, supposedly, so she's biracial. Her dad's South African and her mom's white Jewish. And supposedly her dad was never really in the picture like that growing up. And she was just raised by her white mom. So people kind of think it was because her dad wasn't around. She never got to really learn about her heritage. And she was only taught pretty much how to act like a white person. So I was going to ask, like, do you guys think that affected how she acts, that she like tends to side towards white people, or if that's totally of her choosing, or both?
She grew up. We can cut all this, bro. She grew up as a white person.
Yeah, so, she grew up with her mom, just her mom, pretty much.
So the fact that she acts like that, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the statement that she said. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm not gonna judge you like the way you grew up, bro. Like if you grew up like and you're black and you grew up in a rich area, I'm not gonna like get on you for not acting like a stereotypical black guy should act like. Yeah, I know where you grew up and I know like that's you.
As long as you know what your past was and you respect it, we're fine.
Just don't disrespect where you came from, you know?
Yeah, I relate to that in a sense because I'm not saying what she did was right at all. I think it was personally messed up, not to get my feelings in there. But I grew up, and I still kind of grow up in a predominantly white area, but I don't think I've let that influence totally what I've been a part of. But I just don't think you should let it define who you are as a person. It's definitely a part of who you are, but to say stuff like that is out of hand. For sure.
And even if that is how you act or whatever the case may be, you can't say you don't want to be this or you don't want to be that, because at the end of the day, that part is still you.
Yeah.
And it's still like a part of you. It's still in you. It's not our fault your dad wasn't there to teach you or this or that. Just don't disrespect it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I just thought of it as an excuse, to be honest. Like saying your dad wasn't there, that's why you don't like blacks. Like,
yeah, it's like a personal excuse I no one needs to hear about, to be honest.
That's like
that
doesn't excuse what you said.
Yeah. Like even like what Jacob said. Yeah. Even what Jacob said, you like I also like low key like grew up around predominantly like white people, like where I lived. I lived in Boya Creek, Fishhawk, Brandon area. Like those are predominantly white areas, and I've been to predominantly white schools all my life. So and it's just like I'm not gonna forget just because I grew up around white people forget like the black people I talk to, because even like black people themselves call me weird, like the way I talk. Or like the way I act, they're like, "Yo, he's definitely not black." Like I've been told, which is like also toxic. Like they're like, "You're a white guy in a big black dude's body." And it's like, bro,
like what does it mean to be white?
Yeah, what does it mean to be white?
Can I transition us into something real quick?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that us black, like just black people in general, still contribute to the amount of racism that's still in our society? Do you think that we contribute to it?
So I'm going to be a little honest here. I do say yes, because if we're going to be honest, we tend to make a ton of jokes about white people, like endless amounts. We have literally memes set up where we'll just go off on white people for thinking Sprite's spicy water, for saying they can't eat spicy foods, for saying they can't play basketball. They're just
average Karens.
We definitely contribute to a lot of that. And I'm not putting all the blame on black people, but I'm saying for sure it goes both ways. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. We have some part to play. Nobody's innocent.
Yeah.
We've all laughed at a
It's-
Karen meme.
Yeah. It's just that on the level for me of going out of your way to kill an unarmed black person as a police officer, you don't see black police officers going around killing unarmed white people just for the fun of it. At least nothing from I'm heard. I'm not saying statistics. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying from what I've seen in media, you never see a single case like that whatsoever.
Bro, for sure they wouldn't even care that he's a police officer. They'll make that man go through trial so fast, bro. It's not even funny.
He would get booted straight through the system, dude.
Bro, he's getting fired. So he doesn't even get like he's a police officer anymore. He gets fired. You're a regular person now. Bro, like, to be fair, they don't even promote black police officers. Like, even like on the news and stuff, I don't see them. Like, it's rare. Like, you know how like some police officers, they get invited to like come like stand next to the mayor or whatever, protect the mayor. When was the last time you seen a black person do that? You know what I mean? Like, oh, we want you on the security detail for so-and-so while they're talking on the news. When's the last time you seen they call a black person up to do that?
Well, I know what you mean. They definitely don't
happen.
go out of their way for that type of stuff, for sure.
They don't even promote. Like, in predominantly white schools, they promote people, oh, you should join law enforcement, blah, blah. Do you see that in a black school?
Yeah.
No.
To be fair, though, I feel like they honestly don't even put the same funding they put into white schools or like predominantly white schools, like in the suburbs and stuff, that they put into black schools.
I could see what you mean by that, but also the school, like, I don't think the school is making the same amount as the school like that would.
That's a fair point, yeah. Because I don't want to come from a standpoint, oh, black people get treated in that sense, but
yeah, I definitely see, or like that could be true in some instances, but at the same time, you gotta look at the money that's coming into the school.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely lower budget systems, so I can't deny that.
Yeah, and like I just like us, like it goes back to like just gender norms of like society today. Because think about it, all the models you see, bro, all the IG models and all the models you see clothing. Like who are you predominantly seeing? You know, you're mostly seeing white people modeling clothes and stuff. I mean, there's black people. Don't get me wrong. There's black people in there, but predominantly you're seeing white people. You know, Caucasian and stuff, because that's what society thinks. You know, is cute today.
And I think that was another. Oh yeah,
you got it, Jacob.
I was gonna say, I think that's another good point though, because that's what people say about Doja's cat case. They say you can't really blame her because in today's society, they pretty much push for people to look like a white person. So she was just doing what society considers normal. Mm-hmm. And I kind of thought about that, but still, I think that is very true, though. They push for that a lot today, especially with modeling and stuff like that.
Yeah, what do you like see today? Like, what do you like females, you know, like think that guys that are cute? Like mostly, not gonna lie, what I've seen today is light skinned guys, curly hair, and like blue eyes is basically like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't like, you know what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it.
I just like that's just like what it, like everyone wants, and it's like a simulation, bro. Everyone wants the same thing as default.
For real, it's like the beauty standard.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
It's like I saw something where like the beauty standard in today's society is white, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I was like, that sounds a lot like what Hitler was trying to do. Like, if you make the connection, like, that's all people want.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, white people don't get bashed, I feel like, personally, when they do stuff like butt shots, you know what I mean, to look curvy like black people. But
I mean, they do, but the only people who's giving them flack is black people. So people don't take it as that much of a hit, you know? Because not everybody doing it. Like, you won't see her white neighbor shaming her for that, but you'll see a black person shame her for that.
Yeah.
So therefore, the black person who's doing it gets, like, I don't know, like, gets like singled out, saying, "Why are you hating on her?" Blah blah blah, because nobody else is doing it.
Absolutely.
Except for like that, like only one community or one set of people are actually hating on it, because her friends, her white friends, probably think it's cool.
And like how I feel, like, bro, like the black like community, in general, it's bad, bro. Like the black, I'm gonna explain to you. The black community is it's like a crabs in a barrel, bro. They'll all work together they'll all work together, right? For all the crabs to try to get up the barrel, but as soon as they see one of them at the top, the one at the bottom is gonna pull everyone down. Once you once you see like in the black community, once you see a black brother making it, that's when everyone starts hating, you know?
For real, like, oh, you switched up, you did this,
Yeah, he
you
switched up.
ghosted, blah, blah, blah.
It's not even that. It's like I had to like move my situation
I had to
around
switch the
for me to do better, you know? For me, like
bro,
me,
I had to change the way I act to protect myself.
yeah,
Like people who move out of the hood after they get famous. Oh, you switched up, blah blah.
you
No, I'm
switched up
just trying to stay
because
alive.
I'm
Cause you
just trying to stay
know how
alive,
to
bro.
you know how the community is. I know how the community is. Well, you would do the same thing.
I mean, yeah.
I think we had a really good conversation up until this point. I think we did a good job talking about current events, how it's on both sides, not just one side. Because the one thing we didn't want to be is we didn't want to be biased saying it's just racist on white people's side. It's also other people's sides. It's multiple roles. But so we just wanted to tell y'all, like, at the end of the day, just do your part. If you see something wrong's happening, don't stand by. I mean, in that instance, there's nothing you could do, but, you know, do your part to help make the world a better place. Don't just sit there and let problems happen in front of you and you do nothing about it. But pretty much just to end it on a little bit of a lighter note, even though y'all probably don't want to hear about it. As y'all know, we've been having the coronavirus. It's been going on for almost however many months since it first came up. So I was just going to ask you guys how you feel about quarantine and moving forward, since the country's pretty much reopening and all that. Do you think we're taking the right steps as of right now to getting back to somewhat how society used to be before we got affected by the coronavirus?
I feel like if you say like taking steps to get back to how it was, they're definitely taking steps to do that. Now taking steps to get better as well as getting back to what it was, they're not doing that.
I feel like it's a little too soon, you know?
They're going back too fast.
Just a little
and
bit.
They're not going back because people are getting better. They're going back because the country is losing money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the fact that people need to understand. It's not good. They're just losing money.
So using that same logic, you believe, which I also believe, but you believe that it's money at this point. Money is the only reason the country's reopening. They could care less about the cases at this point, pretty much. Or do you think they still think a little bit about the cases? Because I think the social distancing is still not as good as it should be. I still think, you know,
because
we're not trying, but
if they cared enough about the social distancing, the country would still be on full lock. Like, you're like what is it? Not bedtimes. I was about to say bedtimes, but what is it?
Curfews.
Like, we would still have curfews. There still would be limiting people, like no eating in restaurants. There will still be stuff like that. But that's all gone now. So it's like, do you really care about that, or do you care about everybody getting their money back? Because no matter how you spend it, big crowds of people in places causes sickness. Even if it's not the coronavirus, people still get sick.
Exactly.
So
well, my thing was just aside from that is my thing is I do think we have to take measures to be aware of it, but at the same time, I just don't think that staying inside is the answer. Like 24/7, just being inside your house is gonna make the problem go away. But there's not really a definitive way to stop it right now because they don't have enough information on it to even get a vaccine for it. So,
bro, real stuff, like though, bro. If the vaccine comes out, bro, I'm not getting that, bro.
Oh, absolutely not. And I don't want to get into theories like that right now, but personally, I have reasons why I am not getting it, especially when I heard about the microchip. I am not doing that. But that's for another day, for conspiracy theory. I'm not going to get too much into that.
And what people don't understand about viruses and, like, ways like antidotes, they use the virus in the antidote.
So when you get it, you're going to get the virus.
So, like, with the flu, right?
Logically thinking, you're gonna get the virus to get rid of it, bro. Like, and if they give you the wrong dosage, since it's like one of the first times it ever happened, you're dead, bro.
Sorry. Well, like Darian said, just like the flu, you're getting the virus. So
yeah,
like, and like, I don't feel like it's First off, I don't think they're ever gonna get a vaccine for it. Just like how they still don't have a flu vaccine after hundreds of years. There's not gonna be a vaccine for it at the end of the day. It's gonna be one of those things where if you get it, you go to the hospital and hope you survive it, like the flu. Because people take the flu like it's a joke, but it's not. The flu
And
can
people
actually
die
kill
from the
you.
flu I've met a lot of
Like
people die from the flu every year.
like the flu is the same thing as the coronavirus, but with a little bit more. So if you get it, it's one of those things where you just gotta hunker down and hope you get over it, and take your little medicine, take whatever the case may be, to just get better. Like people who've had it have got over it like it's a normal cold, but also some people who don't have the immune systems to get over it, like older people or children, they don't survive it.
Yeah.
Same as the flu. Old people don't survive the flu, just like they don't survive corona. So by that I'm saying, like, I don't think a cure will ever really come for it, just the same as the flu. That's what I'm saying.
I have to slightly disagree on that, because there's mad cases of where people they've had the corona and they overcame that, bro. Everyone is getting on the death toll of the corona and all the cases, but there's also a mad amount of numbers that that have been dismissed or all the corona's gone. And even in popular cities, I feel like the news is portraying in places like New York where it's a big thing. Literally, no one's getting cured of corona. Literally, everyone's at risk of it, and no one's getting cured from it. But there's a lot of cases in New York where people have gotten cured from it.
Yeah, because it's like getting corona is not a death sentence, like everybody thinks it is.
Yeah, you're not feeling over.
Like it's a good chance, but you're not dying. As long as you're a healthy person, you should be straight.
The numbers are high, but it's not game over.
But what I feel like should happen, at least, they should put everybody back in the hard lockdown, and they should actually go and take the state or the country sanitation facilities or whatever, and just clean the whole city. And if you're sick, stay home, and that should fix it. If you just clean the whole city and everybody who's sick actually stays home, everybody should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end of the day, the only problem with that too is I agree that sick people shouldn't be going out. But at the same time, people don't like to listen, especially when they're given rules. Now that people are told they can't go outside, people want to go outside, even though they've been going outside. And then with sick people, the thing is with coronavirus too, a lot of people are asymptomatic, which is where they're carriers, but they don't have symptoms. So a lot of people don't know that they're sick, and they're giving it to other people who then get sick. So that's where another problem comes in. Which is why probably more people should be tested for it. But
that's why I feel like if this keeps on going on longer, prolonged, more than it should be, they're most likely going to have to start force quarantining people, where you go to a facility and you have to get quarantined. Just quarantine in your house, because you can can show no symptoms of it, but give it to everyone you're around or people that are sick already. And so and just those certain people, they would have to find those people, but it's hard because they don't show any symptoms. So they have to start quarantining, force quarantining people, which sucks.
Realistic, I don't feel like there's any way that they can get it done. There's no surefire way to get it done. Mm-hmm. They have to use a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and just hope it works. At the end of the day, you gotta pray, bro. There's nothing that can really fix this.
At the end of the day, it's just prayer, bro.
Even in China, they said there were no new cases. They just got a second wave.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So kind of going into our personal lives more, but we're going to be seniors next year. And that starts in 3 months pretty much because, and then we're going to be in college next year. So I was just wondering, do you think this is going to, affect when we go back for senior year? And then do you think it'll still be present enough when we're going to college to affect our college lives in that way as well, or whatever we do after high school, if you're not?
Bro, I'm going to say it like this, bro. School starts in August. Mm-hmm. If in August I can go sit in a Chili's and eat, I can go to class and study.
That's sweet. I mean, I want to go back. I was hurt when they canceled school the first time, but I understood what they were doing, but it still hurts to this day.
I wasn't, bro. I was happy.
You weren't, but it jacked up.
As much as some of us want to go back, don't want to go back. If I can go into like somewhere and sit down and eat, have a good time, and socialize, how much is that different from school? And
their logic is kind of flawed in that.
Yeah, like if you're still closing down the school, then what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like they open beaches, but then school.
Like I'm saying, like for like a beach. For a long time, they weren't letting churches go to like have church, but they were letting like people go like to work and stuff. What the thing is like that makes no like correct sense.
Essential workers.
I'm saying like it's either all or nothing, bro. I'm gonna keep it to that. It's all or nothing. Either we're fully gonna go into it, or we're not gonna have it at all. And we're just gonna pray that it doesn't get worse.
One thing I know for sure though, no one's forgetting this year, bro. No one, for good or for bad, bro. No one's forgetting.
2020 has been an eventful year.
I saw this one meme. He was like, "I pray for the kids who have to study this chapter in history class. It's gonna be a hefty one."
Like the first 5 months, dude, have just been
nothing but chaos through the year. We're not even halfway through.
One thing after another, dude.
You see it, bro. You honestly see it.
It's just like this, then this. It's like, what's next, bro? They confirmed aliens and nobody had a second blink to it.
UFOs.
They discovered a parallel universe. Nobody said anything. Like, what is that? NASA almost launched a whole spaceship. Nobody seen it.
There was no talk about a meteoroid, bro, hitting Earth. I was like,
a meteoroid almost hit Earth.
I was like,
anybody saw it?
Not a word. Not a
piece. Corona.
Bro, the Earth almost got ruined 3 times and nobody said a word about it on the news. Straight coronavirus cases.
On a real note, though, like, do you guys think our news is censored?
Yes.
Like, absolutely.
Our news is controlled. Our news is controlled by the United States.
It was already biased to begin with, too.
And that's like certain stations are biased to certain political parties.
Exactly.
If that makes sense. Like, I think don't quote me on this, but I think CNN is like Democratic and like Fox is Republican. So you would see different stuff on different news going on about the same story. You would hear different sides of it. Yeah. To make them think what you want.
Yeah.
All right, so getting back into what I was saying, I feel like different news stations have different biases towards different situations by the simple fact that news stations are owned by different parties in a oh my God, I can't talk. Democratic and Republican parties. Therefore, our news is basically controlled by the government. Simple.
Yeah.
We see what they want us to see. Because if they never report it, it never happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I feel there's like way more news sources that are outside the United States that are reporting something that is completely different to the United States. Like, and it just
like if you go to China, they're reporting something that happened in the United States. We didn't even know what happened, and we live here, bro. Like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Back to what I was saying about the meteoroids and all that stuff. We knew it was happening from the internet. They didn't say it. They're trying to keep the civilization of the United States censored.
Honestly, at this point, bro, Instagram is more credible than news sources. No cap.
Bro, like, I get my news off Instagram now. What are they gonna do? Start censoring accounts?
I swear, I'm telling you, Instagram is more of a credible source for real.
All right.
So, you boys have made it to the end of a Doughboys podcast once again. You know the drill. If you haven't already, comment, like, subscribe. If you haven't seen the other videos, go check out the other videos. We got some bangers. We did not post last week. We're sorry for the inconvenience. We had some school stuff worked out, but we will be dropping consistently now that school is out. So we definitely need y'all to stay tuned. And if y'all boys got anything else y'all want to let them know,
man, I was thinking about this, right? We know, if you guys didn't figure it out by now, we're not recording at our normal time. It's Thursday night. We usually
Late
record
night.
Thursday afternoons,
At the current time of this,
but
11:38.
it's almost 12.
Mine's
Rolling
flowing.
time.
Mine's flowing, bro.
All
Deep
right,
thoughts.
so you know how rappers, different artists, R&B artists, they drop their albums at 12. You know, I was thinking about how about we do album reactions or album reviews as part of our podcast on Thursday nights. What y'all think?
And if so, let us know what album to react to too. Don't just tell us to react. Give us an album to react to. We give y'all what y'all want. If y'all want to hear Pop Smoke, we do Pop Smoke. Y'all do Ian Dior, Uzi, we do Uzi and Ian Dior. It's y'all at the end of the day. Y'all make the content.
It's
Yeah,
Just
right.
deliver. Simple.
old, new, 10 years ago, came out 3 days ago. We're listening to it all.
For real. And you can either comment that down below or just DM us personally if you're not trying to disclose all that
Socials
stuff,
in the link.
Socials are gonna be in the link. For real.
Know how we
So just
rocking.
just
I know the
do that,
vibes.
bro. All right, again, if you guys didn't hear us before, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, bro.
Subscribe, bro.
Thank you. Like
Click the bell.
the bell.
Bring it.
Yes, sir.
Click the bell on me. All right, guys. Peace out, bro.